Hello, welcome to another How to Code Well web chat. My name's Peter Fisher, and obviously I'm not in my office. I'm actually in a hotel, staying in a hotel, as you can see by the coffee and the tea making facilities here. So I do apologize about the sound quality and the video quality here. It is pretty bad. I didn't bring my kit with me. Today I want to talk about Wi-Fi security in the service sector because it's pretty bad, and it's shockingly bad that we're in 2016, 2017, and it's the state it's in, and it's being sold to us as a consumer, as a convenience rather than because it's secure. So two things happened to me in the last week. The first one, I was actually in Costa, the coffee house, and I got a coffee, and I asked the person on the till, "Can I have your Wi-Fi password?" That's the words I used. "Can I have your Wi-Fi password?" And she gave me the coffee, and she said, "It's completely open, so all you have to do is log on, and then click a few buttons, fill out a form, and then you're in." So it's totally open, totally public. And she sold that to me like it was a convenience, like it was a good thing. So that was the first thing. Second thing is this hotel has public Wi-Fi, and again that was sold as a convenience. Perhaps I should have checked beforehand the security side of it. I must stress that my Wi-Fi is turned off on this laptop, and I just think that in this year this something needs to happen, something needs to change. So many security breaches happen because of public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi shouldn't be sold as a good thing. It should be shunned. It should be the security side of Wi-Fi should actually be marketed more. This hotel has a better security than perhaps that hotel. And even if there was a password on there, perhaps the password needs to rotate or something. Something needs to happen to make these things more secure, right? So I did a bit of research looking at some of the statistics on public Wi-Fi and the breaches of public Wi-Fi, so I'll just go through those now. So this is the infographic that I found that I would like to show you all. I would like to stress though that I'm off the network. I found this on my phone and then Bluetoothed it over, so I'm not on the network even though I'm still in the hotel at the moment. So Wi-Fi security in networks. So this sentence here is pretty profound, and it's a pretty bold statement. Wi-Fi is one of the most successful communication technologies ever invented, which is true, right? It's true. Everybody who uses a smartphone uses Wi-Fi. It's there to be used, but it's just very insecure, as I'll go on and talk about. So it lists the top 10 countries by households that are connected. So the first part of this infographic talks about household security in Wi-Fi, and then it goes on to talk about public Wi-Fi security, and then it talks about the victims and so forth of cybercrime. Now, I would like to stress that this is actually quite old information, so I'm not sure if this stuff is as up to date as it could be, but the stats here are pretty shocking. So 25% of households in the world use wireless connections. That makes up 439 million households. So it's a huge amount of people with wireless connections at home. However, 49%, so nearly half of all of these households, have unsecured, unencrypted networks. That's a huge amount for home use. That's crazy, and we need to make sure that this number is dramatically reduced in years to come. The crazy thing about all of this is that 80% of households still have their routers set on default passwords, and if you look at routerpasswords.com or just even this stuff, it's laughable, right? Top 3 routers and their default passwords, admin. This one doesn't even have a username. It's crazy. Why is this still an issue at 2017? It's crazy, absolutely bonkers. So then it talks about the types of encryption. So we've got 3 encryption types here: WEP, which just is laughable, WPA and WPA2. This figure is totally wrong. I've read reports where this is actually under a minute now, so you can boil your kettle and crack into a network at the same time and have your coffee whilst you've broken in. It's nuts, right? Crazy. 19% choose WEP. Why is WEP even an option anymore? You know, what's the point? Why do we offer this as an option to secure your network when it's so poor? Yeah, baffling, right? So then it goes on to talk about the public Wi-Fi hotspots. So this is kind of where my rant is centered upon. So here it's listing the service industry types, so hotels, coffee shops, restaurants, airports, and libraries. This is a crazy figure. So 100 million public Wi-Fi hotspots, and 89% of those are unsecured. So that's nuts, right? So 11% are secured. That's such a crazy figure. And yeah, something needs to happen. So then it goes on and says, no wonder why, blah, blah, blah. All of these victims suffer from cybercrime. Now, I don't know if you can sort of attribute all of this to public Wi-Fi. I don't know what else the bucket of cybercrime involves. Then just spinning down here, it says that the top funniest network names are so this is just a bit of fun. Then it lists the top cities with the highest cybercrime reports. Again, not sure how they've measured this. If there's any tangibility here, what makes Boston or Seattle less secure than Boston, and so forth. So this was actually done in. Let's just knock this down a bit in terms of screen size. So if you can see, oh no, you probably can't. Beg your pardon. So this was actually done in 2011. So it is old data, but it's shocking data nonetheless. And I do feel that still in 2017, these figures are pretty justified, I think, and they're probably the same, if not slightly more, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. So who is to blame, and what can be done, and where does the blame fall? Well, part of it falls on the general consumers, because they just keep installing these things without any regard to security, and you could say that that's due to lack of education, and you could say that the manufacturers should be the ones who educate the general consumers and enforce security rules within their routers. What I would like to see is perhaps like a wizard type setup, where the last stage in the wizard of setting up one of these things is to ensure that you change not only your username or password but also the SSID of the network, because excuse me, because having a default SSID, and it doesn't take a genius to work out if the SSID is the default one, because it's just Sky and then a random set of numbers, or Virgin Media and then a set of random numbers or letters. We'll look at that and go, well, you haven't bothered changing the SSID name, so what's the betting that you haven't bothered changing the username or password as well? So yeah, it's basically a call sign to attackers that your network is unsecure because you're still using the default SSID. So I do think that these manufacturers should step their game up. They should enforce that their routers require to be used only if if their passwords and usernames and SSID names have changed. This should be a requirement, in my opinion. Likewise with WEP, why are we still using it? Why are we still offering that as a security feature? It's not secure, so why is it there? Why are we still talking about this thing in 2017? That's crazy. And again, people choose it because it's the easiest thing. It's the easiest one to have the password, because the password is so weak. It's nuts. And then these guys, the service industry themselves. So yeah, the hotels and coffee shops, like I said, my recent experiences with these guys, the coffee shop just telling me that it's open and that's a good thing, and the hotels offering public Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's crazy. These people should really also step their game up, and in my opinion, and market themselves with this secureness, especially with the hotels. Because if you've got a hotel and it's near a conference, and there's a big tech conference on, then the people who go to that hotel are going to be tech minded, right? So this is going to be one of their top concerns, more so than just a normal general consumer, perhaps. And so when they're looking to buy a room, get a room, they'll be interested in how secure their network is, like I am today. So there's a lot of marketing that can be done around secure networks, I think, especially for hotels, even coffee shops, even restaurants that are close to conferences, for the tech community, because the tech community are their consumers at that time, and they need to be their networks need to be secure. It's one of their it's one of the requirements in the tech community, I feel. Price, comfort of the hotel, and security, because we are tech people. Security is something that we handle on a daily basis, whether it's just website security, or whether it's something completely different, mobile app security perhaps. But security nonetheless is a big part of our web development jobs, and if we're working on an insecure network, then it just it nullifies a lot of these things that we stand for, right? So I also think that we as the tech community should also demand more secure networks, and make a point that we choose certain services over other services because of their security. And perhaps naming and shaming is the only way. I also think that the government need to step up as well, and maybe write some legislation, or have some sort of enforcement for these places. And these places just create these public hotspots for convenience. It's purely convenience. I guess their argument would be that by having a password, you've already got a barrier of entry to actually go about your day-to-day business. And I do feel that these passwords need to be on a rotation as well. So it's not the same password for every Starbucks. It's not the same password for every Costa or Hilton hotel. They need to be on a rotation. And again, that does, granted, have a barrier of entry when you're wanting to access your the network, but it could be as simple as just scanning in some QR code that is on a screen that gets generated every week, perhaps, or something. And with the home networks, I think again these need to be on a rotation as well somehow. I don't know the technical ins and outs, but how many of us have created a network and have just left the password, have updated the password, but have left it for many years? I'll put my hand up to that. It's something that I actively try and sort out every year, but still a year is too much in my opinion. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description below to this infographic. It's pretty eye-watering stuff, I feel. So that was the Wi-Fi rant, the security, public and household Wi-Fi rant. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. As I said earlier, I'm in a hotel and I'm a bit pixelated. Sound quality isn't very good. It's something that I'm looking to improve in future videos. Talking about improving in future videos and goals and things like that, perhaps this year we should all just have a goal of, when you go to perhaps one of your family's houses, to ensure that they have top-notch security, or as much security as they possibly can do on their Wi-Fi. Just take 10 minutes, just take half an hour out of your day and just ensure that your family's network is as secure as it possibly can be, and it isn't one of these crazy statistics, because, you know, like I said, it's not going to be a case of if, it's going to be a case of when now. Maybe you think I'm blowing this out of proportion. Maybe you think that this rant isn't justified. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. I'll also be interested to hear what you guys do, and if there is any kind of way that you try and ensure that you are as secure as you can when you're out and about. Because I do feel perhaps in the future that I will be traveling a little bit more, and the only way I can see at the moment of trying to not use these public Wi-Fi hotspots is to do as much work offline as I possibly can do. So that's being a bit more proactive. So downloading the stuff that I need to do before I go out, and then when I'm at a coffee place or at a hotel, I can do the work, and then when I'm back in perhaps a more of a secure location, then I can upload the stuff, or more of a secure network perhaps. But you know, that's a bit tricky, because there's going to be times where I'm going to be cut short and I'm going to need to jump on these networks, and there's always going to be the thing in the back of my mind that you know, what you're doing isn't actually on a secure network, and you know, that's my responsibility. But it's only because I'm in this tech industry that I'm aware of how insecure these things are. But yeah, I'll be interested to know what you think. Please leave your comments if you've got any in the comment section below, and also do like the video if you've enjoyed it or found it any help. Subscribe to get the next web chats next Friday, as well as the tutorials. I have been doing a lot of Docker tutorials recently, so if you're a web dev, or if you're a DevOps fella, and you're looking to improve your skills on Docker, or just learn from a beginner's perspective, then do check them out, because they may prove helpful. Thanks again for watching. As always, my name is Peter Fisher. Take care, and I will see you again next Friday. Cheers, bye.